Welcome to Main and Center. This segment is being brought to you by the good folks at the Crossroads House right here in Genesee County in downtown Batavia. I'd like to welcome to the studio Diane Saya, who is here. Diane is brought a few guests with her today, and Crossroads House, very active in the community, celebrating just a week or so ago, an anniversary, correct?
Correct, 23 years.
You didn't think I remember, did you?
Well, I wasn't too sure about
23 years in existence, and it has been providing comfort care and more for, it's a generation now, 23 years.
Absolutely, yeah.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
2021 is here, and we have so much going on, and I know the Crossroads House has adjusted as well with all the COVID and everything, but I know that you wanted to introduce some people that are looking at the legacy of the Crossroads House.
Yeah, Chris, today I have two guests, as you mentioned, and it all started back a few months ago when we were approached by University of Buffalo, the School of Social Work, and they wanted to develop a program with Crossroads House so that their master's program students could learn more about death and dying. And so we were able to solidify that partnership. And we are the recipients of two wonderful interns who've been working with us. And one of them is Sarah Johnson. The other is Jessica Zamowski. So we'll let Sarah take it away.
Wonderful. Welcome, Sarah, to the studio, and welcome to Batavia. Diane touched on death and dying. That was the actual name of the course that I took at Monroe Community College back in the day. And the curriculums have much changed, and that was 20 years ago now, or plus. What's the course master's program that you are involved in and the name of it? And then we'll get into the specifics about your experience with Crossroads.
So we're finishing up our master's in social work this actual spring. But we're actually have a micro-credential with serious illness care. Mm-hmm. So we're kind of taking a deeper look into death and dying and how to support that and to make it more person-focused and less medical-based.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand. Sarah Johnson, where are you from originally?
I'm from Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, all right. And you're making the commute often?
A little less often now, but before it was about an hour each way.
Yep, not bad. Not bad. Yeah. Graduated from out of Buffalo, going to college at UB. Mm-hmm. And what was the reasoning behind getting involved with social work? What was the inspiration that you wanted to pursue? What is the final goal?
Final goal, and I mean, it's ever-changing because social work's a great field where you can kind of make your own job. I really was always working with kids up until now I still work with kids. Mm-hmm. But I didn't really know where I wanted to go with that. Mm-hmm. And then through some family experiences where we had some younger people in our family dying and leaving behind kids, I kind of saw this gap in care where there's not a lot of conversation on how to talk to your kids about death and dying and when's appropriate, how much exposure should they get. So that's kind of where I'm focusing in on that.
Gotcha. Want to help kids understand about the whole process. I know myself as a kid, I wanted nothing to do with it. I avoided it like the plague. And now as an adult, I don't like attending. I will, but it bothers me. And I know as a youth, if I had probably learned a little bit more about it and understood it more, it wouldn't have bothered me so much now. But that's great that you want to get involved in that. Why the Crossroads House?
So initially, I was supposed to be over at hospice, but because of COVID, it was kind of like this perfect segue into mm-hmm. Crossroads. I had never heard of a comfort house before, and now being over there, it's amazing to see the amount of care and how person-focused and trauma-informed they are. So I absolutely love it.
That's what I want to get into a little bit with you, the focus as a graduate student now, a master's program student at UB. Tell me a little bit, what is the focus of the care that they give at the Crossroads House? What has impressed you? What is it that's like, wow, I didn't know anything about this?
So I think what impressed me the most is, so we still make sure the medical needs are being met, but the personality is really brought into the house. And we tell people all the time, this is your house. And I joke with people that if you tell us you'll like something, you'll hate it by the end of this. Because we really, like, if you like peanut M&Ms, like, they're there 100%. You'll get sick of the jazz music you said you liked or the country music by the end of this. So I just love how much the entire house really takes on the person's personality and their likes and dislikes and really gets to know the family. It's very impressive. And because we only have 1 or 2 residents at a time, it really gives us the opportunity to learn about these people and kind of everything they can teach us throughout their lives.
Positive experience all the way around in a
Absolutely.
situation where people are dying. How unique is that to turn that into a positive? That's amazing. Great job, Sarah.
Thank you. I'm happy to be there. I'm happy that you had us today. So.
Yeah. How much longer until you're wrapping up your internship?
We'll be there till May.
Oh, well, you got time then. I can come over and bust chops with them.
Yeah.
Excellent. I can do that. We'd like to introduce next Jessica Zumowski. Jessica is also a master's student in the same program as Sarah, and she also is involved in the internship at the Crossroads House. Jessica, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you. It's good to be here.
I got to ask you a few of the similar questions. So, Sarah was the guinea pig. She answered them right away. So you should have a little time to figure it out. Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from town of Scotia. It's just outside of Albany in New York.
Okay. Scotia. North of Albany? North? South?
South?
South of
I'm
Albany.
not sure, actually. I have to look at it on a map. I always forget.
All right. What caused you to leave Scotia and attend University of Buffalo?
So I actually finished community college out in Troy, New York when I was living out there. And then when I was looking at 4-year schools, I was looking at Fredonia, their university.
Mhm.
And I kid you not, I moved on a whim. I just had a feeling about the town and I packed up and I moved, and I'm glad I did.
Wow.
And then I transferred to UB for my master's program. I'm living in Buffalo now. I absolutely love it. And I do not plan on leaving Western New York anytime soon.
Wow. And Scotia's near Schenectady. It's part of Glenville. So it's south.
It is. I
South
thought
of
it was.
South of Albany. And you've been away. How long have you been away from Scotia?
About 2.5 years now, almost 3.
All right. And you do not want to, you like it here?
I love it here.
Wow.
The people are nice. It's a slower pace, so you have more time to get to know your neighbors and the people in your community.
Family still back there?
They are, yeah.
And she don't care. She's like, on my own. Forget it.
We're all kind of scattered,
Yeah.
so they're used to it at this point.
Terrific. That's great. You're on your own. What was the inspiration to get involved in social work, Jessica? Why did you decide to go into this field?
So before I went to school, I was actually working as a florist. A very terrible florist. Please do not ask me for any suggestions on work. You will be disappointed. But I did a lot of funeral work, and that was my favorite. You'd always think it would be the weddings, but the brides were no fun.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed working with those grieving and mourning and helping support them and really bring out the color and the personality
Mm-hmm.
of the person who had died through the arrangements. And that kind of lit a fire in my mind. And at that point, I was already considering going back to school. So I did at that point, and it's also slightly to follow a family goal. The 3 generations of women preceding me had all wanted to go into end-of-life nursing.
Really?
And unfortunately, they all became terminally ill themselves at very young ages.
Wow.
So they weren't able to see that goal. So it's my ambition to have that goal realized, but with my own spin on it, because I will admit I'm not a nurse.
Mom, grandma, great-grandma all wanted to get involved in nursing, end-of-life nursing.
All of them. Mhm.
Wow. And they all were, unfortunately, met their demise at young ages.
They did.
Wow. And you're going to break that string.
I hope so. Knock on wood.
Wow. Unbelievable. That's very interesting. Jessica Zumowski is here. She is an intern at the Crossroads House. So you became familiar setting up flowers at funerals, and that you were already familiar with the concept of the grief process. So that was kind of the impetus to be like, you know what? Mom, grandma, great-grandma, we're all kind of involved in it. I want to do it too.
Mm-hmm. And at that point, my mom had been diagnosed with a terminal illness. And halfway through my undergraduate degree, she was admitted into a comfort care home herself. So that's how I became familiar with the concept of comfort care homes.
I was just going to ask you that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was because of mom and grandma that you were, but this, your mom, firsthand, you were there.
I was. So it allowed me to really see from the family perspective the value that comfort care homes have in the death and dying and in the bereavement process.
She's a strong woman.
They both are, yeah.
Wow. because, I didn't ask Sarah about if she suffered any loss of immediate family, but she's talking so strong about this and had to deal with it. And so she obviously has definitely a preconceived notion on how to deal with death and grieving and that whole thing. And you've turned it into a positive.
Yeah, I think it is a positive. I think our culture really looks on death as a negative, but we always have to remember that it's inevitable for all of us. The only thing we can control is how we approach it.
Right.
So if we approach it with fear, it's going to be an uncomfortable process. But if we approach it with love and support and comfort, then we can get through it and see the other side.
See, I always was afraid. I feared it, and I don't like going, but I do. I have to overcome that. And a lot of people, I guess it depends on their upbringing and learning, and that's where you and Sarah come in. I want to ask you at point blank, what do dying people need?
Comfort. They need socialization. They need spiritual support. They, of course, need their medical needs addressed, but at the end of the day, really that socialization and that ability to be able to be with your family, to be comfortable, and to still be yourself is of vital importance.
Right. Just because, and I've more than anything, I've seen it in movies, but TV as well. A star is dying, but they don't want to be treated any different. They just want to go about their life and have a ball. And then that movie came out years ago called Bucket List. And then people are like, you know what? Can't take it with me. Gonna blow it all and have a ball. And that seems to be the embrace of most people in the world now, is that we're going to have a ball before end of life.
Mm-hmm. So we of course can't take anything with us, so why not make what we can here before we go on to whatever may be next?
Your role at the Crossroads House, what is it that you've been doing, or what have you noticed there? And you're like, wow, I didn't know that before. I didn't see that in my previous experience. Or what are you bringing to the table?
A lot more of that socialization, individualized support. Sarah and I are also in the process of doing some more in-services on mental health concerns and of the grief process for the staff and the volunteers. And we're also looking at really rolling out some new programs for support for the families after their loved one is left.
That's something that we often overlook. And I know personal experience, I didn't use a Crossroads House or a comfort home. But several organizations reached out to me after I had someone die, and I appreciated it. I didn't use it, but it's just nice to know that it's there. But there's a lot of people, especially if you're an older person, you don't have a lot of your friends left, and you lose one or a family member. It's nice to have somebody to talk to. And, having that information of where to turn to is always vital. And the fact that you can provide that is vital as well, I think.
And that's something Comfort Homes and Crossroads House have been great at bringing out, is making sure that although we tend to the medical care, the social is far more important.
So, successful, you're going to be there till the end of May as well?
Yes, I will.
So I got time to mess with both of them. I can go on over there and knock on the door and then run off. Maybe I'll ring the doorbell and run off.
We will answer the door if we see you on the camera.
That's right. I forgot.
That's right.
I'm on camera there.
We'll see you coming.
Diane will be like, don't even bother with him, ladies. It's a delight to make your acquaintance, ladies. We've been talking to Jessica Zumowski, a native of Scotia, who says never going back. Well, just to visit, but she loves Western New York. Do you have a certain area around here that appeals to you the most? Like, where are you, without getting specific, where are you living right now?
I live in South Buffalo.
Okay.
I do really love the city.
Mm-hmm. So you stay in that area, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I hope we'll stay.
Yeah.
We'll see how the future pans out, though.
Well, Western New York is a big area, so you never know. Could be when you retire, Diane. There it is.
There you go.
Right there.
Next generation.
Absolutely. Sarah and Sarah Johnson also, end of May, she will be there. I want to thank you both for being so candid and talking with us today. Jessica, first, anything else you want to get out there and let people know before we wrap it up this morning?
A big thing I'd like to let everyone know is, I know with my story, we all have our inspirations of what brings us into the work we do. So if anyone ever gets an inspiration of how you can contribute to your society, run with it.
All right. Sarah Johnson, anything you want to get out before we wrap it up today?
I just wanted to thank you for having us out there, and I just wanted to thank Comfort Home for introducing me to this world of death and dying. Right. Yeah. And I also wanted to give a quick shout out to making sure you have conversations with your kids that are open and honest at any age is important, because oftentimes that gets overlooked.
Absolutely. Sarah Johnson, thank you. Jessica Zumowski, thank you. Diane Syed, thank you. This segment has been brought to you by the Crossroads House.